My name's Kim Hardman and I'm the Director of Apprenticeships for AstraZeneca. AstraZeneca is a global leading pharmaceutical company with the headquarters based in the UK, but we operate in over 100 countries getting medicines to patients. At AstraZeneca, we have over 40 different types of apprenticeship, ranging from level 3 to level 7, and in a variety of different disciplines, everything from science, IT, engineering, and into even more unusual areas such as content creator or real estate surveyor. So the opportunities for careers at AstraZeneca are limitless.
My name is Theo and I do the supply chain apprenticeship at AstraZeneca. So I'd say the reason I wanted to work for AstraZeneca is it's really a company that I think embodies my core values, beliefs and principles, and I really think that it goes to an extent where I come to work and I think that you know what, this is what I'm going to do, this is how I'm going to impact our patients, and I think it's really a place where my ideas just sort of come to life and we work in such a way where we really do make an impact on patients, and I think that is what gets me out of bed in the morning and why I decided to choose AstraZeneca. So in terms of where my life starts, it's usually quite similar. I mean, we work with a hybrid model at AstraZeneca, so we expect to come to the office 3 days a week. So on those 3 days, I'll usually get up about 6:30 in the morning. I do have about a 50-mile road commute, which sounds a lot worse than it actually is, but it's quite good. It's motorway driving. That gets me into the office for about 8:45 in the morning. We're very lucky where we have loads of sort of like infrastructure, so there's never a problem with, you know, like parking or having to get in and stuff. Traffic is a different issue, but in terms of that, so I usually get into the office, go to my desk, set up sort of my laptop and stuff, and start checking my emails for the day. Then the day becomes really sort of varied depending on what day of the week it is. So there might be some days where I have more meetings that are involved with some of our colleagues in the States or, you know, in different countries. AstraZeneca is really interesting that way, where we have loads of teams where we work together, but geographically they're more dispersed. So that really does facilitate a lot of like remote meetings and the use of technology to sort of bridge that communication gap, which is quite interesting. The apprenticeship route is a very interesting one in the sense that I think it's definitely increased in popularity in the past sort of couple of years. Not even that long ago, I think traditionally apprenticeships were, let's say, in the more sort of labour-intensive environments, or ones which people traditionally didn't consider to be as a path to, let's say, an educational career, or perhaps one even like AstraZeneca within the sciences. I went down the non-traditional route where I actually went to medical school for 2 years, and then I came to the realisation that I wanted to put into practice what I was doing on a daily basis, and I really had this sort of newfound and newly developed interest in sort of business and I'd say like sort of pharma economics and of the sort. So I came to the conclusion that apprenticeships would be the best way for me to be able to combine full-time education with working for a company, gaining that industry experience, you know, having 4 years of experience at the end of the apprenticeship. And it really sort of came to life, and I came to understand just how beneficial apprenticeships are for a future career, having the possibility of a full-time job afterwards, but also being able to interact with so many sort of industry leaders within your certain sector, so mine being the pharmaceutical sector. So I really think it sets young people up on a sort of career trajectory where you can't necessarily get the same benefits as you would going down a sort of more traditional route. I think there's no right or wrong answer. I think it'd be wrong for me to say that, you know, apprenticeships are 100% the way you should go for, university is 100% what you should go for. I think you have to sort of take a step back, look at your, let's say, previous sort of experience, whether that be within an educational environment or if you've actually gone into work and now decided that you want to do an apprenticeship. I think you need to find within yourself whether it's something that you'd be willing to do, let's say particularly from a young age, going to work, you know, 4 or 5 days a week and then also studying part-time at university or doing some sort of educational course. I think the difference is that a lot of people, if they don't like to be spoon-fed or they really want to try and learn for themselves through experience, through industry, I think apprenticeships are definitely the way to go. You don't have to wait till 3 years after your university course to sort of start gaining that real-world life experience. Whereas I think people that would be more traditionally suited to university would be those who were wanting to learn all of the theory perhaps before wanting to put into practice. And I think that's the case of figuring out your personality, what works best for you, but also what sort of support you need. So I think in an apprenticeship, you're encouraged to sort of make your own sort of career progression. You will be helped. I think it's more so you learn through your own experiences, where at university you might have more of that, let's say, shoulder to lean on. So I think what's really interesting as an apprentice is when you come into the business, you are allocated obviously your line manager, but you're giving a mentor and buddy as well. So a buddy is usually someone who's a fellow apprentice within your department or sort of subject area. And you're also given a mentor, which is typically an employee in a sort of leadership position or at sort of a higher level. And I think having that combination of both a buddy and a mentor allows you to develop both your sort of like pastoral and personal attributes. So for example, what I learned from my buddy was just how important time management is as an apprentice. You're obviously having to combine sort of learning at university and doing your full-time job at the same time. I think that can come as quite a shock to people right at the beginning. But I think the way AstraZeneca have helped me and have helped others is by having that buddy mentor system in place, which really allows me to have that person there that, let's say if I had questions that I wouldn't necessarily be comfortable asking someone, you know, within my team or something like that, it really does sort of bridge that gap of communication, I would say, and it makes people just more comfortable, and I think more comfortable people inspire better outcomes in the workplace as well. Similarly, on the other side of that, having a mentor within a leadership position really allows you to, I would say, to set goals in place that would facilitate and actually improve your career progression. So I think being able to speak to someone who's been through the process, they understand what it takes to move to the next level, really enables you also to get the most out of your apprenticeship. So I think definitely there's a support from a learning and development perspective, but also from a pastoral side. You know, it's not necessarily easy for most people to start an apprenticeship in a brand new workplace and, you know, meet loads of new people. So I think AstraZeneca have really delved into that and listened to the apprentices, and year on year we're finding that the company is releasing new packages of support and new ways that they can enable us to be the best we can be. So I think it's a never-ending sort of process, but it's always going in the right direction. So I absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, do not think that I've missed out on absolutely any aspect socially. I think particularly at AstraZeneca we have a culture where we actually have one of our company values, which is we play to win. So I think if you take that sort of out of the context perhaps of the working environment, it's the case of we work really hard. Let's also get on board socially and make sure that we support each other outside of work as well. I think we actually have an apprentice social committee which are in charge of putting in place events and let's say trips for apprentices as well. We have a south one for our apprentices in Cambridge, and then a north-west one for our apprentices more up north. And I think what that really allows is just really like great social interaction between the apprentices. So if at any point you ever feel like, you know, perhaps you're struggling or you need some more support, you also do have that network of apprentices within the workplace that you now know, or let's say on a friend level as opposed to just as a work colleague level. So I think socially it's actually even better than my experience that I've had at university before, and I would highly recommend people to consider an apprenticeship even if they believe that they might not get the most social benefit from it, because I think actually you'd be surprised.
So my name is Dia and I'm a process engineer apprentice at AstraZeneca. I chose to do an apprenticeship because I didn't think I could enjoy uni, having to study day in, day out. Doing an apprenticeship means all of my days are different. I get to work on real life projects, so I know that what I'm doing actually affects people in a positive way, and I thought it would be really fun to work in a company. So back when I was in school, chemistry was my favourite subject, so I thought working at AstraZeneca would mean I'd get lots of experience with working with medicine and producing medicine. So one of the other reasons why I chose AstraZeneca was I could directly make products that people can use and affect them positively. So my friend usually picks me up from my house, and then we have a 10-minute drive to work. I usually get in for about 8 because I like to, you know, start early so I can finish early. And then I go into my office, I get a coffee because I usually don't have time in the morning at home, and I spend like the first 30 minutes of my morning going through emails, doing all the admin stuff and making sure that I know what I'm doing for the rest of the day. So getting all my meetings in place, doing all the work before the meetings, having a little chat with my team members, so just very admin stuff. Meetings can really vary day by day. So my job is very, like, sometime in the office and sometime on plant processing. So if I'm about to start a campaign, then I'll have lots of meetings with the project team, and I'll have meetings about like other projects. But if it's a day where I'm processing, I'll probably clear my calendar and make sure everyone knows I'm not available for meetings because I'll be on plant in a suit. So it's a 5-year program. My first, I guess, rotation is in particle size reduction, and here we get drug substance and we reduce its particle size so it can be made into tablets or vaccines or like injections, things like that. When I started, it was very daunting because I didn't really understand where I fit within the organisation, how a big organisation works, and it was a lot of reading because my role is very clinical, so these are medicines that go into people, so there's lots of regulations to adhere to. So there was a lot of document reading and training, so at the beginning it was quite intensive, it was very detailed work, and it was quite daunting to do. But now, as I've progressed on from all of the training, I can actually like get down and get my hands dirty with actually processing, and I know the whole procedure a lot better now, so I can do it a lot more efficiently than when I first started. A lot of the skills I've learned are like interpersonal skills and like organising as I'm working while I'm studying. So having to balance work and study and like personal life takes a lot of communication with people and thinking ahead into the future, blocking out stuff on my calendar. So I have to be very proactive in where I spend my time. So some of the other skills that I have are technical skills, as I'm, for the first rotation, doing lots of processing, so I've gotten a good understanding of how clinical manufacturing works as well. So you get 20% of your time to do off-the-job training, which is your uni. So that means 1 day a week. So usually I take my uni days on a Friday, so I'll be into work from Monday to Thursday, and then Friday I'll be at home, and I sometimes come into work, it depends how I'm feeling. And I'll do uni on Friday, and if it's exam season, then I'll take a couple days extra to revise, as I can make up the time in the summer when there is no uni work. I think the culture at AstraZeneca is really great. When I first started, I just emailed a lot of people who had interesting jobs, and I was like, hey, I'm a new apprentice, like, can I please like talk to you about your job? And you know, everyone was very kind and, you know, ready to you know, talk and meet with me. And the company culture like is very like relaxed and casual, like, especially in the department I'm in. So there's no strict dress code or anything. I think just kind of look presentable and you'll be fine. Some of the tips that I would give if you're applying to AstraZeneca is just be yourself in the interview. They just want to see who you are as a person and if you're a fit for the company. I'd say come with a couple of examples of where you've demonstrated the values, come with a bank of examples that you can give for each of the values, and yeah, just be relaxed, be normal, know your stuff, and you should be good.